Hello and welcome to Terraria. My name is Todd, also known as Major Mech, and this is, of course, Terraria. Uh, Last time we managed to defeat a couple bosses. Didn't have any major issues there. Let me get rid of that. This time around, instead of focusing on bosses, because we've done a lot of bosses as of late, I decided that we would actually focus on, you guessed it, base building. It's time to clean up this mess of a place. I did finally decide on what I'm going to do with our little area here. And I'm actually going to build us a grand library. I figure the way this will work is I'll build like a basic, very basic library to start. As time goes on, we'll renovate and change it depending on what NPCs move in with us and kind of add in new little areas. These current buildings that we have right now will be kind of incorporated into what we've got, and instead of doing like a village or a castle village sort of thing, we'll do just like a very large medieval like place. I did want to make a note that the traveling merchant did arrive while I was sitting around looking at stuff, and he does sell a cool item called the Frost Barrier, which I did want to purchase because the fact that it makes you immune to freezing is pretty good. Oh, excuse me, a little burp. And I wanted to know what it actually did, or what it could be crafted into, because it seems like it'd be useful. Aluric Tesla body armor. That is something we will not get for much, much later, but it'll still be good to have that, so we'll throw that in the computer real quick. I've pulled out all sort of crafting materials for us to use to start with our library. I did also create a sawmill right quick, which if you did not know how to create a sawmill, it was some wood, 2 iron bars, and a chain. So I'm going to throw that down real quick because we'll be using that later. For now, we're going to kind of renovate the area that we've got here, add more rooms, and just do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm thinking, do we want to start on that side? So I figure we'll start over here and then kind of just build along as we go, adding more layers, adding more to it, and just renovating as we kind of go along. But it'll just be kind of like a big, large warehouse-like complex, but with tons of books and decorations, and it'll be very homey. I've decided to use boreal wood for this, brick, and some stone, of course, but we'll start with that. So before we destroy any of the stuff that we've currently got, because I would like to save the NPCs that we've got, I'm going to just kind of build around them first. We're going to start on this side. Do I want to build with this stuff down here? Sure, why not? Let's see. So let me get this out of my inventory because we don't want that there. Oh, I almost forgot. I've got the iron bars and the chains in my inventory, and I don't need those. So we'll toss those in there, and we'll get to work. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll build an 8 away from our elevator there. Just as kind of like a baseline. We'll put... I want this bottom basement level to be more stone than I currently have it, just because I think that would look really cool. And the levels above it will be more wood and kind of open. That is where it is, I believe. Okay, so we'll build 1 extra down because we do have to put the stone floor in. Let me just get the auto builder, or the kind of smart cursor out there. So what I did here, by the way, of course, is I just counted across using little blocks. I tend to do that because I find it easier for building. But you can do it however you choose to. Alright. So we're going to use this little space right here as kind of like our template. And from then on out, all like little parts of this place will kind of be a template, or very similar to what we build here. Not to be samey, of course, because as I said later on, as we kind of get more NPCs, we'll decorate it specifically for those NPCs. We'll call those the sections of the house. I think that'll fit just fine. Alright. I've got a bunch of stone, but I just realized I haven't converted it into stone blocks yet, or bricks, that is. So we'll convert all the stone blocks that I've got into bricks. Gonna need lots and lots and lots of bricks. Because we're gonna be... The bottom floor will be entirely kind of mostly stone. And floors above that. Oh, don't wanna turn all our walls into that. We do want still lots and lots of walls to be... Because the bottom floor will be stone walls as well, rather than the wood that we've got here, but we'll put in like some wood beams and stuff to make it look a little bit unique. I did also want to create a bunch of glass, because we're going to need lots and lots of windows. A library doesn't really feel like a library if you don't have lots of windows to be able to see. Light helps. Can we create a marble block? Yes, we can. Not sure if I'll use any as marble, just because I don't really have a lot of it, but we may in the future, and I might use it to line a couple things, because it'll look kind of cool. Alright, that should be good for the moment. So we'll focus on putting down our stone brick. Get out of here, bunny. Alright, so I do have to check to make sure that we've got the same size here, because I don't want the rooms to be like off kilter. I may just decide to rearrange these rooms entirely though, so we'll focus on how big we want this first room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You don't need to make these houses actually all that large based on like the size of this small little piece right here, but I would like this main building to be quite big. Do I want it to be bigger than it is right now though? Let me think. I want to find a good like happy medium. So a door is 3, 5, 10 would be pretty good for your average room size, but that seems kind of small to me. 10, maybe 20 then? 20 would be fine. Okay, well we'll start with that. We'd have to break the wall here to do that, so yeah, let's do that. Let's start just tearing down. I'm gonna have to eventually anyway, so we might as well start now. So we've got 14. We'll tear down this wall completely. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. So we'll put a full wall right here. If the NPCs would move. Come on, guys. I'm trying to build a house here. So this area here will be the wall. Yeah, I just can't get it where I need it there. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that'll be 10. So if there's 10 empty spaces and 10 filled spaces, that means that there's 20 total. So this empty block will be where the wall will be. So we'll put that up there. We're going to destroy some houses for the moment, but that won't be a major issue for us. Oh, I should summon my summons, so we don't have to worry about anybody coming to attack us, though. Alright. So... Alright. Good there. Okay, I think they've moved, so we can... Yeah, we can put our wall up. So this will be the basement wall. Let's see. Let's hammer out the wall behind it. Because there doesn't need to be a wall behind walls, of course. And that wood will be useful later, probably. Alright. Okay. So that should be exactly 20 across. We'll build up here. Perfect. Fantastic. Alright, so now if I didn't mess up counting, if I put a roof-like structure on top of this, it should be exactly 20. So we'll grab, or not including these two pieces here, so it should be, well, actually including the walls, indeed. maybe? So we have 20 right now. Let's see. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Okay, so that's 20. 20 across. Must have miscounted. Oh, I've counted the walls as a part of it. That's right. So if we move this one across, which means this needs to be moved here instead. All of these walls will be replaced later on with stone walls, like I said, so I'm not worried about it at the moment. Okay. Good there. Alright. So redoing our calculation here, it should be 20 all the way across. I've removed one from that side, and I will remove one from the other side as well, right? Because we had 2 extra, so we actually want to pull this wall in one. So the actual room size will be 18 blocks, but it will be 20 including the walls, which is exactly what we want. So 20 blocks, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Alright, did I count correctly? I did. Perfect. So that's a 20 size room, so each NPC will get a 20 size room, which will be pretty nice. We'll just put a hole in the bottom right there so we can jump through. Let's make it a 4 size hole. That'll be perfect. Let's put up some torches right quick. Oh, I don't have any more torches. Okay, well, we gotta remedy that. We need enough torches to actually make this work. Oh, a little burp there. There are my torches. Okay, so we're gonna effectively make a whole bunch of these style rooms, but the basement I only want it to be 1 high, or like to the build limit 1 high. But with these upper levels, I want these to be double that. So we'll go 1. We'll put a little nub there. And 2. So the actual room size will be this big. So there won't be that. We'll actually have that up there be our room size. Perfect. So it'll be kind of closer to a square. Not exceptionally a square, but it'll be close to it. Oh god, I am just messing it all sorts of up. I'm messing it up, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Alright, there we go. And I chose the boreal wood, not because it was readily available to me, really, but because of the fact that I like the darker color with like a library sort of theme. A darker color kind of fits more, I think. Now you're free to think whatever you like. I just think it fits a little bit better. Now, let's see. We're going to need some doors. But what type of door should we have? Do we want like a marble door? I'd love it if we could make a red door of some sort. But I don't think I have anything that I can make a door out of that's red. What can we make out of Z wood? Can we make doors out of this? Can make doors out of it, but it looks really kind of strange. Let's see. Oh, we have mahogany, that's right. Where is that mahogany? Perfect. It's kind of reddish. That'll work just for what we need. It's even got little windows in it. That's fantastic. Much better than what I was thinking of. So we'll go with rich mahogany doors. We're going to need quite a few of those, but The ones on the outside will be the main ones that are red, of course. Got an enemy in there. Need to let my little buddies take care of him. Okay, and he's done for. Alright. I might decide to change this later based on whether or not I actually like it. But for now, we'll use the red mahogany door. We're going to need lots of boreal wood walls. Should probably start planting some trees over in the boreal, or in the snow, so we can get some more boreal wood. Got some more acorns there. Don't really have a lot of acorns. That's okay though. Man, that guy just got melted. So for the next few parts, we're going to be focusing on the base building like we are right now. I think, depending on how much we actually get done in these next few parts, that is. If we manage to get like a really nicely sized base built right away, then we won't be building the base all that much because we don't really need to. But for the moment, we definitely need to focus on it because definitely don't have a good base right now. Oh, ouch. That guy was just messing us up there for a second. Alright, so hopefully these trees will grow soon. We'll come back and harvest them. And rinse repeat until we've got enough wood to really sort us out. Alright. And finally, now we need to build some walls. That's right. So we'll make boreal wood walls. Alright, I think about maybe 700 will do. Yeah, that'll do. 800, good enough. Okay. So, what type of platforms do we want? Do we want marble platforms? Ooh, marble platforms would be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Give it a little bit of a color variance there. It's going to be really experimental, of course, until we actually decide on how we want everything to aesthetically look. But I'm kind of liking the way it looks a little bit right now. I don't know about the mahogany door, though. That mahogany door might not be such a good idea. Okay, so we've got the marble there, and we will put a wall of stone down. Alright, perfect. I do want to replace this dirt here with stone. There we go. So, we do have the option to use wood beams, but wood beams problematically tend to create like stuff in the foreground, so you can't put chests and stuff in front of wood beams, which I found out the hard way. So we might just use wood walls or boreal wood as like a bracer sort of thing. Unless we can use actual like yew wood or something to that nature to accent to stuff. Let's pull out that yew wood. Oh, I know I saw it somewhere a second ago. Oh. Smart cursoring. I hate it when it does that. The smart cursor won't ever select the storage heart for some reason, and I'm not sure why that is, but it just doesn't like it. It's in one of these. There it is. Yew wood. Okay, so we'll create some yew wood walls and see how that looks. Table, door, yew wood wall. There we are. Alright, so we'll see what looks better. Bracing of the yew wood wall or bracing of the boreal wood wall. And by bracing I kind of mean like studs or like wood backgrounds to kind of accentuate how it looks. So the boreal wood doesn't look bad at all. Let's try out the yew wood, see what that looks like. That kind of looks okay. Neither of them really give me the look that I'm kind of looking for, which is more similar to what the wood beams would kind of do. You know, I think I'm going to have to go with the wood beams. It'll take up some space, but, you know, that's okay. I'm mostly just using it like around these areas where you jump up and down, so I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. Alright, so we will put brick back behind these walls. Alright. Now for up here, I definitely am going to use the boreal wood wall for the backing there, but I don't know if we're going to use something else to accentuate it, or accentuate it. Let's see, what can we do with normal wood? Can we do anything unique with it? Can create living wood walls. That's kind of interesting. What does a living wood wall look like? So we need a living loom. Do we have one of those? I don't think we do. Living loom. Surely we could build one, right? Most of the items that you can build with, or like crafting stations, for instance, can be built with some of the mods that we've got, but not all of them. Living loom. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm seeing any living looms. That's a shame. We do have that one wand, don't we? Do we have a living wood wand? Places living wood. Material, living wood wand. What do we turn that into? Stormbreaker. Interesting. Okay. Well, don't have the living loom, which I know what it is. I just don't see any way to build it. Got a loom. Loom becomes a bunch of different things, but not the living loom. The living loom you can get in a chest typically, but I don't think we got one. Alright, so let's throw that back in there. We use the boreal wood, and we'll also create some beams. Wooden beams. Alright, we'll just create a bunch of those for the moment. Shouldn't need any more than that. Alright, just so we can accentuate certain things. Like this area here where we're kind of trying to support the house so it doesn't fall over. We'll also add in some windows here in a bit, which we need to convert glass into windows. Glass walls, there we are. Convert pretty much all of our glass into glass walls because we're going to need tons of it. Can always get more glass later, or we can convert the walls back if we need to. Okay, so this is going to be like the bottom story will only be small, and it'll be mainly like my area. This first floor will be the start of the library, and then we'll have maybe 2 more floors on top of that. So we do want this to be kind of a grand library. We don't want it to be insignificant in any way. So we'll go up 1, and then we'll go up 2. That'll be the next floor. And then we'll go up 1. And if we need to make this bigger later on, we can always make it bigger. Or if we need to compartmentalize or make it smaller, we can always do that as well. For now, it's just kind of a rough template. We'll customize it a lot as we go along. Alright, cut that off. Cut this little nubbins off as well. Because we did make this twice the size of the average room per room here. We might decide to like cut some of them in half depending on how much space we need for NPCs, and we can always do that later. Make more floors is what I'm saying. So instead of just having the 3 floors that we'll have with just these rooms, we'll have 6 instead. Alright, This will go like that. We'll go like that. We'll completely close off the top up here, at least for the moment. Let's start adding on some shingles. We'll go one set. Go 2 sets. 3 sets. Yeah, that looks good. That looks pretty good. It's not perfect, and I'm not going to attempt to try to get it there. I'm just trying to give it a nice little look here. These dynasty shingles. Kind of a little bit like a standard, what is it, medieval style house. Okay, good there. Can I change the way these look at all? I can. So we'll hammer those down so it'll even look a little bit more medieval. And this will be kind of nice later on because we might be able to even change this up, make that look a little bit different. But for the moment, that'll be how it kind of looks on this side. It's meant to be very, what is it, Spartan, because of the fact that it's a library. It's a public use building. It's not meant to be extremely fancy. Alright, so we're good there. We'll add in some walls, of course, because we're going to have to completely replace the previous walls. And we'll replace a lot of these walls with windows later on. Or soon, that is, but for the moment we just want to get in lots of walls just to cover it up. Get the entire area completely covered. Alright. So that looks pretty good, I think. I think I will make it so this side here would be like the reception desk. Or maybe I should put that in the middle. I might put that in the middle. So we might have to finish construction before we've really focused on where we're going to have our crafting stations and whatnot. Because I figured the cool idea would be to have the crafting stations where the reception desk would be, for instance. Just to give it a little bit more of a feel like an actual library. And if you don't know what a reception desk is, that's where you go to, of course, check out the books. You know, never know who's really watching these videos. It could be somebody who's foreign, of course, and doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about when I say reception desk. But that's where the librarian sits, the person who watches the books and makes sure that people aren't stealing them, for instance. That's where you go to check out the actual books themselves. Of course, there will be nobody taking our books, because all we've got is NPCs, but at the same time, it'll be nice to have the aesthetic anyway. Or it'll be nice to have it look that way. Alright, so the main benefit of having these rooms be so large like this is that we can actually put things like bookcases and chandeliers in here without worrying about the size, of course. So we'll start with... let's start with some torches, just before... And the nice part about boreal wood that I didn't even realize is that it actually creates perfect little lines in the background so you can actually tell how tall it is. That's quite nice. I didn't even realize that that would be a benefit of using boreal wood, but now I'm kind of happy that we've gone with that. Alright. There. Perfect. That looks really good. That'll be kind of like the basic template for moving forward. Let's put some wood beams to give it a little bit more character. Oh, put an extra one there. Okay. Alright. So these wood beams are, of course, just giving the impression that it's what's holding up the building itself. While that might not be the case, it still gives a good impression. Okay. Hmm. Do. So our first set is 20. How big do we actually want the entirety of this place to be? I'm thinking we might make maybe... so 10 of these would be quite a lot. So if we make 10 other sections exactly this size, that would be quite a lot of sections. It would be a lot of room. I think that might be good enough. Because like I said, we may compartmentalize these later on. We also have to determine how much space we actually have as we're going across and all that. Let's just make our windows for the moment, though. Let's put one here. Do I want to make it that big? Yeah, sure, why not? That looks quite good. I think that looks mighty fine. Did kind of want to add a little bit of flair to these windows by adding a little bit of a platform underneath, but I think I'm going to use I think I might need to raise the windows, and I might need to... I'm still not going to be able to fit anything underneath, even if I do that. I might need to be taller than that, though, but you can't really see out of it then. Well, we'll go with like a basic starting area, and we'll see how we kind of go from there. Of course, the point of windows is to be able to look out them, so if the characters don't really look like they're able to look out the windows, it doesn't really look right. At least from my opinion, anyway. You can, of course, take that however you will. I just think it looks a little bit better. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, that looks good as well. Just to give us some style to start off with here. Perfect. So that gives us some of our wood back. Let's make some little platforms before the area's there. Boreal wood. Good amount of that still. Okay, good there. So effectively we destroyed 2 houses to build 3, or 4 actually, kind of, because we'll have one in the basement as well. I think I'll put the NPCs I don't like that much in the basement. Alright, well, we can just put stuff on top of these little windowsills. I just wanted to give the windows a little bit more depth to them, so they actually looked more correct. Let's see, what does it look like if we put like a framework of wood beam around? So wood beam doesn't really look right. What about the wood wall? That kind of looks better. Oh, I could use the wood wall instead. Oh, that's a better idea, rather than having these platforms. Because I'm trying to find something that would look good with wooden beams and the aesthetic. So we'll get rid of these platforms. And instead we'll have the wooden wall cover the top and bottom. Maybe we should raise it up one then. Can't really see out of it as much, but it does look alright. Yeah, it looks okay. I think that's about as good as it's gonna look, really. could add the wooden beams to the side if we wanted to. I don't really think that looks very good though. Character is kind of below the window, but you know, I think it's good enough. I think it's close to what it could be, which is kind of all it has to be. We're not trying to make miracles here, we're just trying to make it work. Plus it kind of matches the wood beam style. Ooh, we could make the windows just a little bit taller, actually. That would work. That would give it a more open look to it. Gonna have to go like that, like that. Oop. Got a little bit of wood right in the window. Perfect. Yeah, now it still looks very open, but the windows definitely have some depth to them. Okay, so I think that's a good, like, basic template for how most of the rooms should look. We'll probably have to compartmentalize because there's just a ridiculous amount of NPCs in the later parts of some of these packs. But, you know, since we don't have that many NPCs at the moment, it'll be nice to have a lot of space. Because we'll be able to put, like, a lot of decoration. And we can always expand later on. Adding an expansion to a library is never a bad thing. At least not in my eyes. Alright. Perfect. So it'll take a lot of time to customize each room to look similar to this, but now that we've gotten a basic template, it'll be much easier to kind of go as we go. What type of tables do we want? Do we want just normal wood? Do we want boreal wood? Do we want something entirely different? Let's just go with the normal wood for the moment, just because we have a good amount of it to spare for that sort of thing. We'll, of course, add bookcases and things similarly to that later on, but this'll do for now. Just some tables and chairs. We'll close this, so his house is kind of contained again. Close that. The benefit is, of course, because we've kind of cleared out the other area here and here, we'll be able to just kind of like move across, building our template just across, adding more space to it. We might add another floor as well as we go along, but I don't think I'll add more than what this is, because this is a pretty big building that we're looking at building here. Alright. So let's slap down some chairs and tables. Okay. Alright, that should give us some more houses. I think the bookshelves actually count as tables as well, so we probably won't even need these tables later on, which will be quite nice. Plus we'll be able to get lots of bookshelves from the dungeon once we have that completely unlocked. But I think this is a good place to stop for a quick moment. Maybe I'll come back and contemplate a little bit of the style a little bit more, but I really like the look of this. I think this looks really cool, and we're gonna, of course, improve and upgrade it as we go. But next time we'll add more rooms, kind of finish it out. By the time we've completed most of the library, hopefully we'll have a good amount of NPCs that will be able to give us some stuff, because I'm looking for one NPC in particular which will be able to supply us with materials. Until then, though, for the moment we're going to call it quits, just because we've kind of sussed out what our basic template's going to look like. I think it looks really cool. Got kind of like a dungeness, like, bunker underneath. Plus you've got the library, which we'll add bookcases to later on. We'll also add things like decorations on the walls and things of that nature. But until then, goodbye.